Good. Let's go.
Good. All right.
Anthony, you said life is short. We could talk about that. Let's go. We can start there.
Yeah. All right. Start with a bang. Yeah. So I think one of the most important lessons I've learned in life is that life's short. You know, like I went through a lot of loss. That is, I lost my dad young. My dad was 46. I was 17, and that changed my life a lot. That kind of impacted, just everything after. I was a little bit lost in life for a while. I always had these dreams and things I wanted to do, but like I was unsure of the direction to go. I grew up a military brat. My dad was military. I grew up around the world. Had a great relationship with my dad. He was like my best friend. But he was a smoker, a drinker, partied, and we got bad heart health that runs in our family. So yeah, one day, like everything was cool. It was the second week of my senior year of high school. I loved school. I loved everything about my life at that point. It was pretty cool. I did sports. I was a 4.0 student. I got, but I came home one day on a Sunday and found my dad passed away, and that shit fucked me up profoundly. And it was something that, I went through a range of, things with. I didn't have any other family that lived in the state I lived in. I lived in Oklahoma. I moved there with my dad. My sister went off to college. She's a little older than me, and it was, I felt like it was the beginning of this journey I'm on right now, for sure. Like when that happened, it kind of gave me a sense of fuck it, and a sense of just like this toughness that has stayed with me, that no matter what I've went through since then, at 17, I'm 29 now, nothing really can bother me that much. I feel like I have went through the hardest thing I will ever go through in my life. I know that for a fact. A few weeks before he passed, I was having a talk with him going into my senior year of high school. Like, man, I don't know what I'm doing. I think I'm gonna join the military after high school, like you did, and at least just do that till I figure it out. Cause I don't know, man. I was interested in clothes. I did photography, but I had no real concept of how to make money, and that scared me. So I was like, I'm gonna just join the military. I get to travel. It'll be cool. And he was like, no, don't join the military, son. I see you doing so much more. And he just wanted me to sit with that, and I did. And I've kept it with me to this day. I'm 29 and never joined the military. I followed all my dreams, and I made a lot of them come true. And now I'm having to redream and keep dreaming and think of what might be impossible to some people, or what might have been impossible to me, and now rethinking it like, you know what, let's go ahead and make it happen. I hated everything. I'm not a religious person. I didn't have that sort of comfort, like, oh well, just none of that. I didn't have a lot of comfort, man. I felt really out there, and I was just feeling it. And yeah, I turned to smoking and drinking, and I definitely have an addictive personality. I've always known that. The things I like in excess. My dad's the same way, and once I got into it, and I went from being like a 4.0 student in high school throughout my every school career, and then college. Once I, got into college and I'm drinking, smoking, partying, it was hard for me. I was flunking out. I had an academic scholarship. I fucked off, didn't have it anymore. Things were looking bad. I was just stuck in a state that I hated. I've always dreamt of living here in LA where I'm at now, doing what I'm doing, but like, I just couldn't see how to get there, Graduated college, moved straight to West Hollywood, Fairfax, and it was tough because I saved up some money. I graduated college, had a little party, family party with my ex-girlfriend, and her family was kind of well off, so they kind of looked out. We had a little bit of money that we moved here with. I sold my car, and honestly, within the first few months of living in LA, it was all gone, and it was just me. And me and her broke up. We were together for 5 years. We broke up immediately when we moved to LA, and I was stuck with this apartment I couldn't afford, with these dreams I couldn't figure out how to get to. And I just kept going. I was just grinding, and I was working hard as fuck, long hours, trying to network and be out with my camera and doing so much for free just to make these connections. And, slowly things just started to work out because I just never gave up. I met my agent actually at my job as a butcher. And once I started acting and modeling, that kind of changed my life a lot, for sure. Like once I started professionally acting and modeling and getting commercials, that changed a lot of things. And I was able to like work my way out of being a butcher. And now I've been a full-time creative for like 2.5 years, I guess now. And I'm making a comfortable living professionally in like 4 lanes as a photographer, a video director, as a model and actor. And it's been great. Most times I really can't believe it still, you know, like when you end up in your dream, like it feels crazy because you've never been there until recently. I'm 29. It took me over, 25, 26, 27 years to get there. And now that I'm here, I realize it's hard work. I'm stressed out. It's great though. And I'm constantly in a state of euphoria. You know, I think about it constantly, and I credit just my whole journey to me being here and deserving it and knowing I deserve it and knowing the work is there and the work is good and it feels great. But yeah, I think about it all a lot, for sure. Like I constantly reflect. I listen to music a lot. I ponder on my past a lot. I'm never scared to shed tears. I'll be in my car alone and shit will hit me and I'll be crying about my dad or my best friend I lost or my whatever, and I'll just be thinking about how they're not here and I'm here. And, I just put life into perspective a lot, definitely, to sum it up. Yeah, it's a lot. Success to me looks like everyone you've ever known is telling you that they're proud of you. Success to me looks like, like Nipsey Hussle said, like, victory to me is when you get your moms right. Like, I don't have my dad no more. I wish he could see this shit. I wish I could go buy him that, whatever he wants. He wasn't even materialistic at all, but I wish I could just do that because I didn't grow up with money. And just even talking to my mom now, we didn't grow up close. My parents divorced young, but my mom she was a cold woman in a lot of ways. She didn't say I love you growing up. I never heard that till I was 28 years old. And now every time we get off the phone, she tells me she loves me, and I can hear it in her voice. And I be damn near crying every time. Like, that feels like success to me. Like my mom telling me things she is even planning in her future that I could buy for her because she knows I'm doing good. And it's not even in a way that sounds greedy. Like my mom is from a third world country and her family all lives in poverty. Like, it's amazing to her that her son can be on TV and be getting paid professionally to do some of the things he's doing. So I think that looks like success. That's what success feels like. Certain people you idolize or look up to, I love to listen to interviews, documentaries, and I like to just listen to their brain and connect and see what they're even thinking like. And I feel like I can see myself in some of these people I look up to, and I'm just glad that I have that. I know a lot of talented people, great people who aren't confident enough. Like, confidence is a crazy thing. You can be half-assed, decent, whatever, and you're hella confident and know how to just buckle down and package it right, and you're gonna be hella successful. And that's what most people really want out here. You want to be successful in your life. You don't want to have all these dreams, and everyone has dreams. Everyone has shit they be thinking about in their whole life that they want to achieve. And to actually achieve them, you should do whatever you can to do that, So whether that's being overconfident, I'm glad I am. It needs to be interesting. I think that's the number one word I always come to in my head. Like, when I'm making something, that's what it needs to be. Just interesting. It doesn't have to be technically perfect like, I think if you're making interesting work and you've already mastered, like, I know how to make good work. I know how to make a good song. I know how to make a good, I learned it. So like, just making interesting work and just being conscious of that, I think, it'll get you wherever you're going. Like, these people that have told stories and made movies, they're not any more or less qualified than you. They just did it. So you just had to do it and try to make that shit good. And you never know. You could be up there accepting a fucking Oscar or Grammy or whatever. You know, like I do picture all that, and I do want all that. I want all the things that come with it. Like I want all of it, you know? I do. Why not? Like whatever you really want is already done in the future. It's already done. It's already there, solid, concrete, it's done. You just have to catch up to it in real time. And if you think like that, I just feel like that makes you work towards whatever it is that you're imagining, you know? Like whatever you have to tell yourself to get there, I try to do. I try to do as much as I can to get myself there, you know, because it's hard. Like life is hard. There's a lot of walls you're going to hit, things you're not even expecting. But once you really, like I think in the future a lot, like, you know, I think once you kind of live in the future like that in your own head, then, you know, a lot of your day to day, to you it's already done. Let me just get there. Let me just get there in real time. Let me enjoy what I'm doing now and keep doing good work proficiently, but let me just know that, you know what, whatever I really want is already done. I was in college and something, I forget what class or what was going on, but something rang a bell with me, and it was, imagine living during the Roman Empire. All right, so like the Roman Empire, they have, you know, water, running water. They have this crazy fucking way of living at the time, that most of the world doesn't have. Like it's just like poverty and bullshit around the rest of the world. Imagine living during that time and you didn't live there, and you spent your whole life and died. And you never got to experience the Roman Empire and advanced civilization and advanced ideas and advanced people with more knowledge and more, you know, like, and that's how I used to feel sometimes living in smaller cities around the world versus like dreaming of LA or New York. Like, I want to live in Rome and see what I do in Rome. And I feel like I'm in Rome. I had this one clothing line, permanently on vacation. And I really feel like I manifested that one. Like sometimes I really feel like as hard as I work, whatever I'm doing, I am permanently on vacation. I look around at where I'm at compared to where I was, even geographically, and I'm like, this shit is paradise. And, you know, tomorrow, you know, I have obligations, but realistically, I could just go to the beach if I wanted to and just send a text out and everything would be fine. And it just feels really great. And a lot of times, you know, I talk about how stressed I am, and that just comes with it all. But I am really at peace, and that is something that I'm getting used to, and that feels great. I feel like I'm at peace, and I'm generally happy, and I haven't felt like that in like over a decade.